Alright, so now let's start by show permanently denied. First, we're gonna make a fill max width, max size, and we want to show text. This text is gonna be informing the user that this permission is denied for scanning QR, and we're gonna tell him the camera permission. And I want to add more localization, so I'll just make a string resource, and it will be called camera, and it will be of style. I'm gonna use material header 3. So what happens here is just I have this %s, which is a placeholder, so it will be replaced by camera string. So yeah, for header, actually 1 is better because it's gonna be larger, and we want to align the text to be center, and we want to remove this background, and we want all the object in this box to be centered, so they are gonna be in the middle. So now we have shown null on content. I will move this one, it will be a column, and I want the horizontal alignment to be center horizontal. And for the modifier, I'm just going to play modifier with max size, and I will replace those two because I'm used as to modifier being the first argument. Alright, so now for the text, it's going to be string resource, auto string, scan same permission request. Yep, I'm gonna make x, which is just a string resource. I'm just informing him with some value, and I will tell him this is the camera permission, and it's just the same %s. Actually, we should replace those two together because I mixed them. So this one should be here, this one should be here. So after doing this, we have now assigned our value. We want to give a style, material theme. We also are using header 1 here, and we want to have a button for requesting this permission. So I will make a new composable. It's gonna be composable function camera permission request button. I'm gonna take a modifier, and we need the camera permission permission. What is this type? What is the type of this permission state? It's permission state, so I'm not sure. Yeah, but the problem was I forgot the experimental. Anyway, and now for this string, I'm gonna make a string resource request x permission, and that x is gonna be the camera permission. And we also need to give this modifier. I'm gonna fill max width, and I want to add padding to be normal spacing all around. And for this one, it's not really specific to the camera permission. I'm just gonna say permission request button. That's it. Alright, and now we need to add it in the show denial one, giving it a modifier, and we also need to give it permission state to be camera permission state, and this one will be passed here, camera permission state, which is permission state. Unfortunately we need to, I'm just gonna make a home bottom sheet allowing experimental, so we can just remove this optional experimental. So yeah, now for the show denial we need to pass a modifier to be modifier. Actually we don't really need to pass modifier, we need just permission state, camera permission state, permission. And now if it's gonna deny permanently, we're gonna show this one. If it's denied single time, it's gonna be visible as this one, and if it's gonna be, and this is permission request. And we remove this column because we don't need this column anymore. Let's run the app and see is our app working fine or not. Right, so we have the background is transparent, so we have this problem. Now we need to give a background material theme color surface, and I will do the same for this column. Yep. Alright, now let's run. Camera permission is not permanently, and I actually will remove the app and install it again so we can have a starting fresh. Rerun the app. Right, now we have our onboarding. Next we have this one. Permission is so I think it's not permanently. Let's see how it's not. Yep, it's denied, so I'm not sure why it's denied, but maybe because we need to launch the we probably need to launch this when we open our which is handling permission like this. Just launch it. See, it's gonna work this way. Yeah, it actually makes sense because it's required to have because it's required to be called in a side effect or lambda, not in compensation, because every time now we're calling if we reach for handling permission, we're going to check permission and then we're going to launch it, which trigger a change in the camera state, which will trigger another recomposition. So that's kind of loop which isn't really correct, and the composition compiler is really good that he knows this error. So yeah, so the problem is, I think this one is we need to clear. I'm gonna just clear the storage. Try it again. Camera permission is not. So go to the settings. So I think the default behavior is being denied completely. I'm just gonna say ask if that. Wait, camera permission is denied permanently. It's permanently denied. It doesn't have permission. It shouldn't show rational. So I will Google it and come back to you. Alright, so my implementation to this logic is correct. We would only just need to call launched effect just to call the request of camera permission, like launch permission state. This means once we open this composable, we just hit one time this launch effect and that's it. Let's try it and see how it's gonna look like. Yep, it's tells us, hey, we want the app if you want to use this app or not. For now, I'm just gonna say deny. I will deny it. That's a single denial. This one is camera permission is required for scanning QR code. Alright, so now we have got this one, which is denial on content. Great. Now you can, I'm just gonna modify it again because the kind of design isn't really optimal. So for this one, I will make just a modifier, and I will pause the modifier here. Modifier fill max size, and we need to give the modifier here. And I will do the same for the show denial content, so all of them has the same modifier. For the column, this one, I'm just gonna say this one. Now for the text align of the denials, I want to be centered, so I'll just text align to be centered. Now we have, it should be working fine. See, if I deny this time again, then I will probably be it will probably be called denied twice. So if I deny now, I should have this camera permission is denied, and it's made, and I forgot to add the surface. So let me just add the surface here. I'll do the same. Alright, now it didn't ask because it's already designed multiple times. So now I'm just gonna install the app. Now it's started. Yep, so I'm just gonna say denied. What's the problem with our request? We have this camera permission. I think it's because of this column with the horizontal alignment. We want to make vertical arrangement with center. That's it. It wouldn't really change much, but the bottom it takes a huge height. Camera permission is required. I did really deny it. So ignore the UI for now, we'll fix it later. So now we have one single time denial. If we try it again, just ignore it and try again. We have the same one. Now let's say we deny it one again. We're denying the permanent. It has this message that camera permission is denied permanently. We need now to fix it in our app. Which see this one. Go to your app info, permissions, your camera. Allow only when using this time, or maybe ask this time. Let's say ask this time. Now open the serial decoder. You will probably say while using this app only. I will say only this time. Now we have our camera, and if you can press Alt and move, you can go to wherever you want. So that's it. We kind of implemented our permission handling now in a correct way. Next, we're gonna solve the problem which we have with this one, where the column is taking some kind of huge space. Thank you for